Hey everybody, it's a beautiful day. Modern dating with intent to marry is not designed for Black people. And this is because of a mixture of conflicts between social movements in the West, dating standards, and Black culture. So around the 60s, we started to see a decline in marriage rates pretty much just across the board, although Black people obviously took the hardest hit. One of the things that happened in the 60s was the Equal Pay Act of 1963. And of course, we know that there's still a gender pay gap along with the peak tax, although for the most part, women are making just as much as men. We all should know at least how important financials are when it comes to modern dating. Men are actually encouraged not to date or even entertain the idea of love without having their financials together, just because modern dating tells women to avoid building a man and that a man's value is intangible things.
What does she bring to the table on breakfast, lunch, dinner, maternal instinct, homework help, business strategies, brainstorming sessions, KPI analysis, emotional and psychological support, so general therapeutic services, prayer, praise and worship, strong tower, a little some sweet tea, and a podcast recommendation. So why is the table from IKEA?
Frankly, all this does is just devalues Black men, because not only do white people on average make more than Black people, but from the numbers from 2021, white women in their 20s were making around 82% of what white men were making, and by their 40s they're making 72% of what white men are making, compared to Black women making 85% of what Black men are making in their 20s, and then by their 40s are making 82% of what Black men are making. This gap between what Black men and Black women are making is getting smaller because the economy is changing and Black men have a harder time advancing in their careers. This means that only white and Asian people have the financials to support the idea that a woman should and can stay with him as he works his way up, and eventually she can be able to work less if she wants, and even have him be able to take care of most of the bills. Also, in the 60s, divorce became less taboo and easier to do. This means that women were leaving their husbands way more due to infidelity. More attention was put on domestic violence and simply just being unsatisfied either sexually or mentally. I'm gonna also add that wives have had a history of feeling lost, unloved, and abused under the patriarchy, and men are known to not be as fair in the bed. So in the 60s, she could divorce him for many reasons, whatever reason pretty much, and not be blamed for it. And even though many American marriages are homogamous, marriage is taught and promoted on passion. You don't really see Kay Jeweler commercials about marrying your social equal or the person your parent arranged you with based on class, okay? But instead, you find the commercials talking about marrying your best friend, stuff like that. And along with these changes, around this time was also the golden age of capitalism in America, which means that love was no longer marketable because love is vulnerable, time-consuming, and can become messy at times. This is why people are not encouraged to give chance after chance after chance while dating, because giving chance after chance to someone who is not guaranteed to uplift your status either publicly or financially is not a good business move. And I say business move because in this society, everything you do needs to be profitable or beneficial in a way. I'm also gonna add right here that marriage on the basis of a unionship with God is more of a conservative thing, and men are more collectively interdependent while women are more relational interdependent. Okay, this means that women are more likely to be focused on more close and intimate relationships that seem mutually beneficial. It's going to be more one-on-one, more in-depth conversations, and men are pretty much going to be more into finding groups that are into the same things as them. So sport teams, frats, gangs, for example. In the 60s, more gay people started coming out due to certain movements, and interracial marriages became legal in 1967. This meant that people were less likely to hide their desires for white partners or same-sex partners, okay, providing more competition and even restrictions on what your person partakes in. Because homophobia really runs deep in the Black community, and Black men are more likely to date outside their race than Black women are. And because of colorism, sexual objectification, and intersexual competition, people don't want to compete with somebody of a different race, especially white people. They don't want to compete with somebody of their same gender or more genders, and they're not trying to compete with a fetishized idea of what they should act like or be like. And frankly, interracial relationships can affect the sexual, financial, and beauty confidence in both genders in every ethnicity due to certain social stigmas. Which brings us to the next thing, okay? Black women spend too much money on being beautiful. And if you have like that toxic capitalist mindset, it is in turn supposed to benefit them. For example, getting a BBL, you naturally would expect to get more attention from men. And hair and makeup, you spend so much on being beautiful and expect him to be able to not only afford it or take like a load off of you.
Nowhere in the Bible did I read that Adam paid all Eve bills and gave her nail money,
but also treat you accordingly based on how you feel you look. This is why men are going towards foreign or white women who more naturally fit into the beauty standard and or have invested less into their beauty for attention purposes. I say investing in your beauty for attention purposes because getting a breast reduction because your back hurts, or having a dermatologist because of skincare issues, or doing your hair just because you need your hair done is not the same morally as getting a BBL to fit in, spending $400 on your wig every month, or not being able to go outside without a face full of makeup and fake lashes. You ever seen that video?
Look at him. Y'all see this? Look at me. Y'all see how I look right now? This man brought me on a date to Shake Shack. Like, of all places. Look at him.
Right,
you know, all the chains stuff like that on your neck.
Like that girl, but
nothing wrong.
Shake Shack is nothing wrong. Then you order the chicken sandwich and stuff, like there's nothing wrong with Shake Shack. Shake Shack is a good spot. You tripping?
Really? So you couldn't tell me nowhere else better than Shake Shack?
And Shake Shack is a good spot to go.
I mean, this what you got me.
Any other female would have loved to go to Shake Shack.
You got me 2 sandwiches and a drink.
So what? And it cost me $50 for just this.
This cost you $50.
$50. It cost me $50.
Let me see the receipt.
You ain't got to see the receipt. That's how much it costs. You act like you ungrateful. That's why I don't like going on dates and stuff like that.
I mean, you be going out spending hundreds of thousands at the club and stuff like that. I don't see why I gotta come to Shake Shack.
The thing about it is, this is lunch. You feel me? You said, let's go out for lunch. Surprise me. And I took you to Shake Shack. And this is how you act.
This is the best surprise you could have got. Go ahead, start recording. I'm already in there.
I'm gonna show the internet
Yeah,
how ungrateful women are.
show them.
You feel me?
Show them.
But you want to order, like, you still order, like,
Show
you want to
'em.
eat. You still about to eat.
I ain't saying the food was nasty. I just said I wanted
know, but
something
you
else.
wanted to go to what? Where you want to go? Where you want to go?
I mean, shoot. I mean, right here in the South Side. I mean, all these fancy restaurants over here. We couldn't have got something that at least gave me some silverware.
We could have went that for dinner.
Okay, but check this out. Check this out, though. Hold on.
Right
I'm about to prove a point, though. Pick up your fork. Let me see your fork.
That's how Shake Shack do it.
That's the fork.
This is how Shake Shack do it.
Okay.
This is how Shake Shack. This is
Alright.
finger food.
Okay.
You don't even need a fork. This is bougie.
So to me personally, this girl looks so regular. Like, she looked like Shake Shack. If anything, y'all could have went to Taco Bell. Like, no lie. Man, this girl had on a sweatshirt. Go to Shake Shack and enjoy your chicken burger, boy. Mind you, some men actively avoid prettier or higher valued women because they are more crazy or too expensive for them. And nobody is truly perfect. There is either a physical, intellectual, or emotional imbalance between every single last person, especially if we're looking at societal standards. And being pretty often leads to more emotional imbalances. Being a man also leads to a lack of comfortability when it comes to emotional vulnerability, and being Black increases your likelihood of emotional imbalances. This can connect back to history. Black and Native Americans have a long lineage of sexual abuse and being used. I'm also going to add that this connects to why many sex workers are Black and Native American women and many pimps are Black men. Okay, this is because that many have learned to capitalize on the sexual desires that white men have to be with these women sexually. And this new career pathway that people have taken part in has pretty much bled into many aspects of life, okay, including how women dress. It's promoted to women to wear things that men cannot wear, okay? Be feminine, be a baddie. And being a baddie, I don't care what anybody says about who they view as a baddie, whatever, I don't care, okay? The media pushes makeup, big butts, being naked and wild as that image, as the baddie image, okay? And we can't sit here and just say that people do not follow this stuff, because we get a lot of how we view the world and how we should act from what we see. For example, outside of the punk rock scene around the 70s, men wearing nail polish was not as cool or accepted until other people started doing it. Other people that looked more like other people. You know what I'm saying? Eventually just became a trend. And now when I go on social media, I can barely see outfit ideas that don't include something tight, something short, or something that shows your midriff. And this can confuse men on who is valuable and who is worthy.
For a real woman.
Let me answer that question.
And the reason why I asked
Okay,
is because if you fuck with a real woman, she's going to agree with you. Hey, maybe I shouldn't step outside wearing this,
I respect that, baby. Let
nasty
me answer
ass
that.
shit.
Let me answer that. This is the problem. The real woman is standing too close to the hoes, so we don't know the difference until we start talking to y'all. No, listen. I met a lot of women. It don't mean, I don't care if they from the hood. I don't care if they got two parents. Their interests are the same. It's like right now, right? If you see 10 lions coming down the street, are you gonna try to figure out which lion gonna bite your ass or not? You're gonna be like, them 10 lions. So unfortunately, the real woman agree with too much shit that these hoes is on, so we don't know the fucking difference. Y'all gotta stand far away from the hoes, because y'all dress like them, y'all wear the same shit they wear, y'all listen to the same music they listen to, and y'all stand for the same shit they stand for. In most cases, not you, baby, but in most cases, the real women got too much in common with.
You can have a lot of worth and not be valued, and you can be valued but not have no real worth. Value is a measure of importance, okay? And via dating standards, a woman's value is her beauty and a man's value is his tangible things. Somebody's worth is measured on how beneficial they are. Women's worth via society is loyalty, warmth, discipline, spirituality. A man's worth via society is reliability, respect, good listening skills, not afraid to commit, emotional vulnerability, honesty, and just sexual compatibility. And being more valuable or being more worthy, that won't save you from being played. You still get dogged out, no matter how pretty, no matter how loyal you are. Because on the con side, you find a man, he finds value more important. Okay, you may run into colorist issues, you may run into a body fetish type of thing, and you may run into someone who's like always looking for someone prettier. You find a woman who finds value more important, then you may run into the user, or in other words, a hoe. You find a man who finds worth more important on the side of con. We're not on pro. He can easily just be using her simply for what she does for him, because he knows like she's gonna stick around for the BS. Or he can be seen as a simp. And a woman who finds worth more important can be looked at as too sexually free or too emotionally needy. Before we get into why there are so many people who aren't practiced in being worthy, let's talk about how the values of each gender conflict with each other. Beauty is often associated with youthfulness, and a man often becomes more valuable as he grows in his career, which means like pretty much just as he gets older. And women are teased with being like, you want to be a beautiful bride, you're making beautiful babies, which requires partnership pretty much at a young age, okay? So men are not teased with none of that, especially Black men. Socially, marriage seems like more of a hindrance to them, even though marriage benefits the man more. A married man is better off than a single man, but a single woman is better off than a married one. So a woman's worth, from what people say, is loyalty, warmth, discipline, spirituality, and of course like sexual compatibility as well. But being loyal can come at a cost. Like, are you gonna be the ride or die? Are you gonna wait for him as he faces 15 years? And like, this isn't like a Gucci Mane situation. He hasn't given you money to invest in your lip care line, okay? Are you gonna stick around and eventually let his activities negatively affect either your life or his? And frankly, I think it all depends on that person and the situation, to be honest, but that's just me personally. Warmth means being comfortable and accepting of kind of what's going on, which is something many Black men and Black women are not feeling. And discipline is pretty much just anti-American. Most, if not all, Americans have at least one addiction: drugs, coffee, TV, video games, fast food, sex, working out, etc. Anything, everything. A man's worth is supposed to be reliability, respect, good listening skills, not being afraid to commit, emotional vulnerability, honesty, and like I said, sexual compatibility. And the toxic parts of the patriarchy, trauma, and fear do not encourage these traits. Simple. Especially at a young age. But okay, which leads me to my final point: narcissism. Staying away from people who resemble narcissists is a big rule in modern dating. What we do not talk about is how America has the most narcissists. Okay, men are more likely to be narcissists, younger people are more likely to be narcissists, and Black people have the highest rates of narcissistic traits. And some people say that Black people are not as emotionally intelligent. However, these EQI tests, they often don't consider cultural aspects, which may lead to a lack of understanding, because it's really just a difference in how we feel. We must show emotions and the feelings that we feel the most or more often. So why do Black people have more narcissistic traits? First, we got to answer, what can make a narcissist? Feelings of neglect, abuse, and feeling unsafe in your environment. Parents who value the kids' achievements over the kids' feelings, and being overindulged or overvalued, and authoritative, permissive, and overprotective parenting. All of these things can create a narcissist or a person who has developed narcissistic defense mechanisms. Mind you, historically, feelings were not something, and I'm talking historically here, okay? Feelings were not something that Black people could cater to, especially if people was getting hung up for just moving wrong, you know? Like, it wasn't something we could cater to when people was like starving or like clothes deprived, like didn't nobody know. Plus, okay, overprotective, authoritative, and permissive parenting styles are the most common in Black parents. And Black people are more likely to have adverse childhood experiences, PTSD, and anxiety due to things that they've been through. So it's two main pathways of developing narcissistic tendencies or defense mechanisms. First one is feelings of neglect, trauma, and bad attachment styles.
That ain't bring you shit. Cause you been bad. So you're not gonna get shit. Let's see what the next one is. You talk at me, you don't talk to me. No, you're too sensitive. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. I don't like that. Like, I'm not gonna be, oh no, you don't know how to understand. You don't take what people say to you and you don't be like, okay, well, I did this, I'm sorry. You don't know how to apologize. You be like, okay, well, get over it. Like, oh well.
Why did they get physical that day, though? I'm still not understanding why they get physical.
Because when she stood up, she was talking to Buck. You know what I mean? Don't get up and start bucking at me. You hit me like, what did you do? I did not tell you that I would hit you. Yes, you did. You kept threatening me. Well, guess what? Well, get out of my face then. Girl.
These hoes, yes, they're my daughters. I done gave them chances, but now I'm finna treat them like hoes. These hoes are trifling. Trifling as fuck. So I'm finna walk up the stairs so y'all can see how they trifling asses really live, since they like to twerk, since they like to cuss, since they like to stick the finger out and do all this extracurricular shit.
Don't you ever tell me I'm selfish. Don't you do it. And you know what? You gonna pay for that. Me selfish? Okay. Oh my graduation. Okay. Me selfish? Oh my graduation. Yes. Yes, ma'am. Right there. Open the door. Get out. It's raining. Okay. Give me that iPhone because it's my phone. Bye. Oh, don't you laugh, honey, because it's your turn next year.
And the second is being overindulged, overvalued, and overspoiled. Mind you guys that we're one of those groups who have whole movements that tell us that we're beautiful. Black is beautiful.
This brother here, myself, all of us, we're born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this. Because it's natural, because the reason for it, you might say, is like a new awareness among Black people that their own natural appearance, physical appearance is beautiful, and it's pleasing to them. For so many, many years, we were told that only white people were beautiful. Only straight hair, light eyes, light skin was beautiful, and so Black women would try everything they could, straighten their hair, lighten their skin, to look as much like white women. This has changed because Black people are aware, and white people are aware of it too, because white people now want natural wigs. They want wigs like this. Dig it? Isn't it beautiful? All right.
We have a space for that. You don't publicly hear, my white is beautiful, okay? But instead, you will subliminally see it. We're also a group that has many, many, many examples of regular people being influential leaders, from pastors all the way to drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? We also have a whole movement that have convinced people to no longer believe, or in some cases, exhibit their racist beliefs. We also have whole movements about getting the respect that we deserve. Like, that's a big thing, getting the respect you deserve. Okay, these are all cultural beliefs taught to us that can make us feel overindulged, overvalued, and just grandiose about ourselves. Simple. So feeling like you're that guy, you're that girl is promoted to us despite how media wants to tear us down, okay? Feeling like you deserve respect is not anything new. And feeling like the people who are supposed to care for you only cared for certain parts of you is also not new. And so to sum this guy up, modern dating is not designed for Black people because many of us were raised to survive instead of to live. We're still raising each other on survival instead of on culture, even though we are in immediate danger less than what we used to be. Being raised with survival means like you don't really have time for unnecessary things. And depending on that person, that unnecessary thing can be school, it can be love, it can be emotions, especially if you're supposed to get it out the mud and you don't need nobody help. Okay, being in survival mode also can lead you to fear rejection, fear abandonment. Being in survival mode can mean more stress, more anxiety, leading to more unhealthy behaviors.
And that's why we do drugs.
And that's why we do drugs.
And being Black and, let's say, having gotten yourself together, right? You may feel a little bit better or greater about yourself in comparison to others. And you may also have many options, leading to a lack of commitment. You may also have trust issues trying to protect the things that you've worked so hard for. Trust issues, control issues, the whole thing. And so really, I think we need to find a new way to understand each other, especially within Black people, and what we have been through, just finding a way to actually communicate and to hear each other and share. Sharing is caring. We need our own way on how to equally benefit and respect each other within marriages, okay? Men, you especially need to look into how you treat women, because all I'm seeing is on social media for real is like, these women are feminine, these women need fathers, these women need to be submissive. Like, first of all, I didn't know single moms only had daughters. I didn't know that. And being submissive requires a dominant that makes her feel safe, simple, which requires you guys also to heal. And it's possible to heal together and obviously grow together without placing the growth on the other person. And Black women need to look in a mirror on how we use, view, and present ourselves, especially regarding dating. And we need to heal from these lies told to us about femininity, and we need to heal from the trauma, because not everybody hates you, okay? We need to learn kind of just to chill. Just chill, Bill, and not place so much of our emotional turmoil on other people. We need to learn kind of how to get through that ourselves, especially not on men, because that's really not what they're used to. Just like kind of ease into that with them.
Then maybe, just maybe, I'll shut. But until then, oh.